It's National River Cleanup Month, and volunteers are working to clean up along the Jordan River. Residents are invited to join in on these fun and unique cleanup activities throughout the month. Katie Reiser with the city's Trails and Natural Lands Division has details on how you can get involved and sign up as a volunteer. And our History Minute, just in time for Star Wars Day, is about the Mandalorian and its ties to Salt Lake City. Let's get started with our legislative update and look back.
At its April 20th meeting, the City Council voted to make this year's municipal election chosen by ranked choice voting, reviewed a draft of the police budget audit, received informational updates on racial equity in policing, and were briefed on a number of budget issues. To learn more, visit slc.gov/council.
Today we're celebrating the kickoff of 1,000 additional trees on our city's west side. We fulfilled that commitment last year. In addition to the 1,600 or so trees we plant throughout the city, today we're celebrating by the planting of a few trees, the 1,000 additional that we'll have here across the course of the coming months. Over the course of about the last 10 years, until I became the mayor, the city was just planting about as many trees as we lost each year. We lose 1,000 trees to disease, storms, snow, but it's important that we plant more than the amount of trees we lose, so we're actually growing our urban forest. Our hardest hit areas for air quality and air pollution are on our city's west side, and we know that trees help to not only beautify an area and increase property values and walkability, but they also help to clean our air and produce more oxygen. So there's a million reasons to plant a trees, and the best time to plant a tree was 25 years ago, but the next best time is today.
And they're going to welcome with open arms the youth of Salt Lake City, youth from all over the state of Utah, who are going to find a way to express their hearts through the arts. And this is the place where they come to learn and be supported and become who they will as leaders of our community in the future, as teachers, as architects, as board members, to build the next Spy Hop somewhere else in this city.
The Salt Lake City Council needs a District 2 representative. Applications to fill the vacated position are now open until May 10th at noon. To learn more about the position, the process, and how to apply, visit slc.gov/council or call 801-535-7671. Celebrate this National River Cleanup Month by getting out and getting one-on-one with nature. Salt Lake City has plenty of volunteer opportunities, and Katie Reiser, Volunteer Outreach and Education Coordinator for the city's Division of Trails and Natural Lands, has details on how you can get involved and help with biodiversity within the community.
For weeks, we've been working to rally volunteers to take part in a new effort to beautify our city, really our city's public lands. From our mountainous ridgelines to our river, we've had organizations, teams, and individuals coming together to clean up our parks, our trails, our wetlands, and other open spaces.
Why is that a priority for the city? I mean, aside from the obvious.
Well, this work is not only creating a visual improvement to our natural areas, it's helping to restore and protect the habitat and the ecosystems around us, while also carrying and building up our world-class trail system here in Salt Lake City. Now, we know that Salt Lake City's natural resources, our beautiful weather, our world-class recreation opportunities are one of many reasons why so many of us choose to live, work, and play here. And we expect more people to want to come live, work, and play here. But with more people means more visitors on our public lands. And without the hands-on maintenance, we're going to see more damage, erosion, and challenges happening in our public land system. And so really, we're trying to pull together our community to help keep our places healthy, beautiful, and accessible for everyone.
For anyone who wants to get involved, how do they do that? What's the process like to volunteer?
This March, we actually took an initiative to create and launch a new digital platform. You can find that at stewardship.slc.gov. And we resumed our in-person workdays. Many of those events have been on pause throughout 2020. We've seen, even in this short period, a incredibly positive response from our community, with the nearly 400 volunteers already signing up since the launch to participate in upcoming projects.
What projects are sort of on the docket for coming up soon that people could get involved with?
We've got great events coming up in May, many of which are focused on National River Cleanup Month. The myriad of events that are occurring this spring across Salt Lake City is trail maintenance, trail work days, getting up into our foothill system and other natural areas across the city to have hands-on trail maintenance, habitat restoration work, providing information and direction and stewardship related information to users on the trail. We've got habitat restoration work across our open spaces that are removing invasive species and helping to replant native plants that can benefit the ecosystems there. And then coming back to River Cleanup Month, many of our projects will be focusing on the Jordan River. We've already hosted several cleanup days along the river this year and have hauled hundreds of pounds of litter and debris out of the river and out of her banks. In May, we intend to host even more. National River Cleanup Month is something that's recognized across the country throughout the month of May, and we've got several events to participate in, including one on May 15th for National River Cleanup Day.
If I'm a volunteer, what do these days typically look like? Are there city folks there to tell me what to do? Like, what does that look like for me realistically?
Yeah, beginning with the sign-up process, that's easy to view. You can jump onto that website that I shared earlier, view the event, sign up with a one-click submit, complete your digital waiver all in one place. And then you'll automatically get confirmation from our team about where to meet, what to bring, and what to expect. We as an SLC staff and other volunteer leaders will meet you at the location, have a quick introduction, create some connections to the other neighbors and community members that are there, talk through our tools, our equipment, and what safety things to expect, and set out on our way to get dirty and get wet and get our hands into the land.
For anyone on the fence, where would you send them for more information, and what would you say to, maybe convince them to come on out and have a great time doing this?
Well, we know our Salt Lake City stewards are folks who appreciate our outdoor spaces. They're enthusiasts who are determined to see their spaces thrive. They're people who enjoy the camaraderie of working as a team to accomplish the goal of caring for our environment. If any of that sounds like you, then come join us. These are your neighbors, your friends, your coworkers, your colleagues. Really, in light of the pandemic, many of us are thriving on having these social interactions again, to come together and to meet new faces and new individuals. You're welcome. Many of our events are open for accessibility and have other volunteers to help work with language or with accessible concerns along the trail. And the great part of working outdoors is sometimes that transcends barriers, where we're all contributing to the mission of caring for our public lands. Come join us, view our project calendar at stewardship.slc.gov, or check out the city's webpage to see highlights of the work that we've been done and get involved in an upcoming event.
And now it's time for our History Minute.
Filmmaker Jon Favreau set his sights on a Western set in the Star Wars universe and created The Mandalorian. Like any entry in the Star Wars universe, exotic locations were required to give an otherworldly look to the adventures of Din Djarin and his young charge Grogu. Utah has a long history with filmmaking, particularly westerns and desert landscapes, from the grandeur of John Ford in Monument Valley to the Martian landscapes of Goblin Valley for John Carter. The area surrounding Salt Lake City got its turn with The Mandalorian. In order to accomplish many of the locations in The Mandalorian, special effects wizards from Lucasfilm came to Salt Lake City to film backgrounds that would be used on the new volume technology. These LED screens are powered by a game engine that allow backgrounds to be filmed live, and then on a soundstage with actors, largely eliminating the need for costly green screen. These locations outside of Salt Lake City offered backgrounds for the iconic planet of Tatooine and a new planet named Arvala 7, securing Salt Lake City's place in Star Wars history.
Thank you for joining us for another episode. To learn more and stay connected with Salt Lake City's Parks and Public Lands Division, or to get out and find unique ways to volunteer, you can follow the Parks and Public Lands Division at SLCPPL on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's it for this week's episode. Thank you for joining us. For SLC TV, I'm Poonam Kumar.